What happened with Joel Olstein is the theft was reported, like I said, 2014, about $600K missing. It was investigated. I believe the FBI got involved or whatever. They couldn't figure out what happened. They don't know who stole it. There was no evidence of a break-in. Mm-hmm. There was no paper trail. There was the cameras didn't pick anything up. I don't know what they got going on over there. But here it is. Yeah, so pause it right now.
This is 11 minutes. I don't know where it is.
Oh, as soon as you start it, we'll see some good.
All right.
Yeah, so just pause it for a second because we're into this already. So, and I banged my pen against this so much, I just broke the pen. So that's good. But, so no evidence of it. 6 years goes by. There's a plumber working on the toilet in Joel Olsteen's Houston mega church. He's trying to fix a loose toilet. And he pulls the toilet out, and he hears just something drop in the wall. And he goes, wow, is some mice back there? We got some rats in here. Oh, let me take a peek. Maybe I'll call one of my buddies who's he handles pests. Maybe I'll hook him up with a little work. Let me see what just fell. Wow. Oh, what's this? Oh, my God. These are envelopes and envelopes of stone cold, hard cash. Mm-hmm. The type of cash you can use to buy Bitcoin. What's this? He doesn't take any. He doesn't say anything, except he calls a radio show and announces it happened. And I think maybe he told authorities or something, right? I don't know. But he announces it on a radio show. It's confirmed. The church confirms it as well. So it's a confirmed story that the money was found and it was in the wall inside the church it was stolen from. Which begs the question, is the robber still living in the church? That's the only conclusion I can come to, is that it was a criminal who broke into the megachurch, decided to hide the money in the wall. Obviously, when he broke in, he brought some sheetrock and some cement with him because he did a little drywall work.
Yeah. This guy's getting framed by Jesus because he was a carpenter.
It could have been Jesus that did it.
Yeah.
It could have been the Holy Ghost. And that is not beyond the realm of possibility that Joel Olstein comes out and says that this was the work of the Holy Ghost. Once the evidence gets in that this was an inside job and probably leads back to him because he wanted to hide a little, he wanted to take a little haircut off the top for what you call insurance money, maybe? Because I know they don't pay taxes, but I bet you they have insurance for theft. Somebody took a little off the top for themselves and hid it in a wall for a rainy day.
A lot off the top.
Yeah.
500 envelopes fell out the wall, he said.
Yes. Little kids like to put quarters away in a piggy bank. Criminal pastors like to put $600,000 behind some drywall work. I mean, somebody came with a little demo tool, a little hammer, made a hole, put it in, and then patched it right back up and said, you know what? When the apocalypse comes, we'll have $600K to buy some Bitcoins with. So the plumber is upset now because he says he watched Joel Olstein's latest show. Let's just call it a show. That's what it is.
His set. His
Yeah,
latest set.
He probably does like a 7 and 9. Wouldn't it be funny if the preachers had like a clean show and an early show? Like,
yeah.
Yo, did you see Joel at the 7? He's like, yeah, man, it was pretty tame, but you got to really catch him on the midnight show. I mean, that's when like he calls people up and to get the Holy Ghost out, he just fucks them in the ass.
The people who catch the Holy Ghost are called hecklers.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more of a dirty show, you know? to get the demons out of people, he just punches them, just like it's the midnight show. Demon be gone. So the plumber was upset because he watched Joel Olstein's last sermon on television because the guy does numbers. Mm-hmm. Joel Olstein pulls numbers. And he was upset that Joel Olstein did not mention the good deed that he did by finding this 600K in the wall. Like he's looking at, this is one of these like good guys. He's a good plumber. He probably goes to the church. He probably loves Joel Osteen. Say, hey, I did a nice thing for you. Guess, look, I found what the criminals did. And Joel Osteen's going, shut the fuck up, guy. Shut the fuck up, guy. How fucking dumb are the people who buy tickets to my show? It's like when you hate your own fan base, you're like, God, I like them stupid, but fuck, not this stupid. Joel Olstein was flirting with calling the guy and being like, hey, guy, listen, I heard you found a little something. Here's the deal. The Lord told me I should give $50K to you as a reward. But the Lord also said, we should keep this between me, you, and the Lord.
Yeah. He said, keep your mouth shut or we're going to have some of the disciples come see you.
Yeah, so have some disciples come see you. Because as you know, it says, and I think they just make that shit up. You ever hear a preacher when they go, according to Leviticus 14:16, you should shop as much as you can at Neiman Marcus this summer. According to Leviathan 14, they just throw numbers out and they throw titles. I constantly think that shit's not in the Bible because nobody's going to check. The Bible's like one of those like copyright agreements on the internet where you just scroll to the bottom and you click like, I agree. Nobody reads the fucking legalese.
Yeah, the Bible is Biden's Build Back Better plan.
Yeah, it's definitely Biden's. It's a government. It's like the fucking. It's when the Patriot Act. It's like the Patriot Act. It's 3,000 pages long. It's like Sophie's Choice. People just saw the movie. Once they saw the density of the book, they were like, I'll just watch the movie and watch Meryl Streep. So I just think they just call out numbers. They go according to, and they just call out their latest bingo numbers. According to 4693 in Leviathan, thou shalt not, and then they just say a bunch of words that sound ancient. Thou shalt not pushest, thouest innest, thou buttest. And people are like, yeah, I get it. So Joel Olstein did not mention the plumber and his good deed in his sermon, and the plumber was very upset because he was hoping for the very least to get some acknowledgement from this vessel of God himself, Mr. Rory. And he didn't say anything. And Mr. Joe Plumber, you mind if we call you Joe Plumber? There's always a plumber who comes into the national spotlight who's got something to say.
I said his name was Justin.
Justin Plumber, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now, Justin Plumber. Joel Olstein stole that money. I hate to break your naive bubble, my guy, but let me put it to you like this. And this is all the people who love Joel Olstein. Let me put it to you like this. If I report that I've been robbed for $600K, people investigate, they find nothing, no evidence. It's like, do you remember that guy Chris Watts or something who killed his whole family? So there was this guy, Chris Watts, it's a horrible thing. Chris Watts, just a couple years ago, Chris Watts, it was in, I think, North Carolina or something. No, he was from North Carolina. They were living in Colorado. So Chris Watts was having an affair with a real sweet, evil piece of puss. He had a family, 2 kids, and another kid on the way. His wife was a little bit of a pain in the ass that made him do Facebook live videos with the family and he hated it or whatever. But he was having an affair and he wanted to live with the new wife and he didn't want to pay child support. So he killed his entire family. He killed his entire family while they were in the house and he drove them out and buried them. So when the cops were looking, they were going, he was going like, whoever has my family, like, he did that whole thing. Like he did TV interviews going like, I just hope that they're safe out there. Whoever has them, please, I just need them to come home. And the cops are going, okay, we looked at all your neighbors' footage. We looked at every piece of evidence. We did a dog sweep of the house. We did DNA forensics. The only DNA and prints we have in this house is your family and you. And there's no signs of break-in. Your wife's stuff is still all here. The cars are still here. No cameras have any car coming or going from the vicinity.
Yep.
There was 4 people in this house. Okay, there was 4 in, 1 left. There was 4 in the house, and then there was somehow 3 disappeared. You're going like, I suspect you killed your family because it's impossible that anyone else killed your family. If you haven't figured it out, Joel Olstein is the killer in this analogy. The money is still in his church. So the money was taken from the safe and walked downstairs, and it wasn't stolen. Just to borrow a little move from the Catholic Church, it was reparished to another floor. That money was caught touching a kid, and they moved him to another floor. It was a relocation job. I mean, seriously, if you come over to my house and I report a crime, I say some people broke into my house and they stole my money, and then the cops go and they go, we see no signs of break-in. Mm-hmm. Nobody broke into your house. We see no evidence. And you go, I don't know what to tell you. I'm missing $600K. And they go, well, that's a mystery. We don't know what to tell you. And you go, I'm a person of God. I'll just deal with it. I'll pray on it. Can you guys leave now? And they're like, fine. Everyone goes in, and he just goes like this. He does like a nice Napoleon Dynamite. Yes, when they leave. If there's no sign of anyone coming in or out, and the only person is inside, is where the money ends up turning up. Your prime suspect is Joel Olstein. And Jason the plumber, the reason why you were not mentioned in the mega church sermon is because Joel Olstein's defense lawyer said, plead the fucking fifth, baby, like Dave Chappelle in Chappelle's show. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
No, bro.
How did the money get into the bathroom of your mega church? I plead the fifth.